everybody, back to my channel. Today I thought I should go very back to the basics and tell you guys the very basic facts about myself. I think I just came across as if I'm like a celebrity, or everybody who will see my videos already know me, so I kind of like skipped my intro and I went straight to my contents without even explaining why is my channel called The Young Heiress, right? So I deeply apologize. This is a very cliche but like obvious amateur's like mistake, and so let me go back to the basics, and here are 15 questions that you probably already know about me, but I just want to lay it out there. So here we go. My name is Shin Yoonhae, or Yoonhae Shin. Shin is my family name. It comes from my dad's side, and Yoonhae is my first name. Yoon actually came from my dad and Hae came from my mom, so 2 letters from my parents became my name, and it means something like sparkling mercy because it comes from Chinese characters. 2. What is my age? Well, I was born on 3rd of January in 1985, so that makes me 34 this year. Oh my god. I look ridiculous, but that's how old I am. In Korea, by the way, people are already 1 year old when you're born, so in Korean age, I'll be like 35. Oh my god, sorry. Number 3, where do I live? Currently, I live in Bed-Stuy, Brooklyn. It's been my home for the last year, and it will be for another, I don't know how long. Number 4, do I have family? So I have my mom, my dad, and my younger brother, and they're all in Korea. I do have some family over here, so 3 of my cousins who are my uncle's children, they have been in New York way longer than I have, so I have some family here. I have my uncle and my aunt who live in Atlanta, so I have some family in the United States, but my direct family are living in Korea. Am I married? Oops, I forgot my ring. Number 5, am I married? Yes, I am. I am married. My husband is Romain, right here. And straight on to number 6, so then I have family in France as well. So all of my parents-in-law and the family from my husband's side, they all reside in France. Number 7, where have I lived? So well, I was born in Korea, in Seoul, or actually a little town outside of Seoul. And then I've lived most of my life in Seoul actually, and when I was 11 in American age, which makes me 12 in Korean age, my family moved to England, somewhere a little outside of London called Kingston, and it was because my dad was moving for the job that he had in Korea, which sent him out to the European Bureau, and my mom chose that we should go to London because we should learn, well, the children as we should learn English as our second language. So that was my first time outside of the country, and then we went back to Korea when I was like 15, and then I went to high school, I went to uni, all in Korea, and very recently in 2014, I moved out to Indonesia together with my husband, and we lived there for about 3 years, and then this is our my third country living outside of Korea, and his second country living outside of Korea. Well, actually 3rd as well. Anyways, number 8, so then what languages do I speak? So I obviously speak Korean. Korean is my first language. It is my native tongue. I probably make some mistakes because I'm not such a literary person who reads a lot of books, and so sometimes I'm a little short of words and vocabularies, but Korean is my first language. It is, you know, like I speak very comfortably, right? 안녕하세요. And then English is my second language, I guess. I've spoken it other than Korean as much as I can remember. And then I've actually picked up French because, I mean, it just made my life so much easier being married to a French guy. And I also picked up some Indonesian while I was living in Indonesia. Apa kabar? Whatever. Number 9, where did I go to school? So school as in like college. So I actually went to school in Korea. It's actually one of the nicest schools out there in Korea. It's called Ewha Women's University, and not Ewha Women's University. It's Ewha Women's University. And okay, yes, it's only for women. Supposedly there's like one guy who can step inside the school, and that will be the guy who is a ballerina, who's helping out all the ballerinas in the ballet department to do the lifts and stuff. But if not, there aren't any boys who are originally like entering the school. But as I was going to school, I had a lot of exchange students that I saw that came from Germany, from England, or wherever, and when they came as exchange students, apparently it didn't matter if they were female or male. So we did have some male students while we were there, but it's primarily for women to apply for. I mean, I don't know why I'm elaborating on this, but anyway, it is not like a sexual kind of thing. It was actually built back in the 1800s when like women in Korea didn't have like opportunity to get educated. So there was a missionary who was called Scranton, I think, and she came over to Korea and she saw that the condition for women to be educated was very, very poor at that time. And so she built the school specifically so that women will have more chances to go to school. And so it remained with same values until now, and it hasn't turned into a co-ed. So there it is. Number 10. So what was my major? My major was international studies. And my minor was surprisingly dance. So I did like contemporary dance and ballet dance and all of that. And international studies was my major. And number 11, what is my Instagram handle? Okay, jumping into something else. So my Instagram handle is The Young Heiress. And then number 12, what is my YouTube channel? It is also called The Young Heiress. So I didn't put this in the questions, but why is it called The Young Heiress? Well, going back to question number 1, my name is Yoonhae. My name is Yoonhae. How is it spelled? It's Y-O-O-N-H-Y-E. And when that was like, you know, in the register, and I went to school in England, and all the teachers are calling out the roll, and they're like, Yoonhae? Yoonhee? And so like nobody could actually, you know, pronounce my name correctly. And I do kind of blame like the rules in Korea to like convert from like Korean words into English, because I don't think like Y-O-O-N-H-Y-E makes out to Yoonhae. Maybe it should be like Y-U-N-H-E-I? I don't know. But everyone just like didn't, you know, have a clue of how to call my name, and they were like ending up calling me like Yoon or like Yoonhae, and it was like, it was funny. It didn't really affect my identity or anything, but it was just something that I felt like people will never get used to in calling my name and knowing my name without me telling them how it's pronounced. And so like as much as I wanted to use my own name for Instagram handles and my blog's name or my YouTube's name, I thought that I should give it something that is easier and more meaningful for people to understand, especially in the English language. And so I try to look for words that had my initials at least, which would be YH. And so I was like, well, I was doing beauty for a while. I'm still doing beauty, but I'm doing like fashion, and I'm like doing beauty and fashion in a way that I'm not trying to teach you guys anything, because like who am I to teach anybody? Like I'm still learning so much about all of that. And so I felt like I wanted to be inspired by other people, by the designers, by the stylists, by the creative people out there who has been, you know, doing the best in their fields for a very long time. And I want to like absorb all of that in. So I made myself this like self-given name, The Young Heiress, where I'm still young because I'm learning, but heiress is not because I inherited like a castle from my parents, but because I inherited all these like sort of knowledge and like creativity and inspiration from all the designers and stylists and creative photographers and whatnot from out there. And so hence it became The Young Heiress. So there we go. Number 13, what was my previous jobs? So after graduating from international studies and minoring in dance, I actually moved into fashion. I mean, I think back in school, like my friends or my colleagues, they all knew like I'll get into fashion because like I was always the person who was like try to appear as fashionable or try to, you know, be more interested in fashion and try to be knowledgeable about the fashion industry, blah blah blah. And so in myself also, I just thought like international study is such a broad term, and also it doesn't give you like a specific domain of like work. And so I thought international business and international like growth in terms of fashion is what I want to do. And so I became a buyer at a department store in Korea, and that was my first job for 5 long years. And I learned a lot from that job. I still take everything from that job. I still go back to that moment, and you know, when I was meeting so many people from so many different brands and going to all these events and creating events and attending shows and whatnot, it was like the best time of my life. And that was my first job. After that, I moved to Indonesia. I could luckily find a job that was relevant in that field, and so I went into publishing a bit more with like high-end watches and jewelry, and also did corporate development in terms of like developing store concepts and trying to bring like a lot of popular Korean brands into Indonesia. And so it was still in fashion, and I got to do a little bit more creative side of things. And so I guess like all along that way, I kind of built up this dream to be a content creator and a blogger myself in fashion. So 14, then what is my current job? Well, current job that I want to put down, and I really wish that I could put more weight on in terms of how much focus I'm putting into that in my life, is a blogger. And a blogger who is like very, you know, versatile in numerous platforms. I'm trying to do my best in my identity for the Instagram, and I'm also trying to do more in YouTube, because I feel like social media is a way for you to connect with people, but at the same time, like I need that platform where I could just be like be myself and not have to hide anything, or kind of like make it look all beautiful and perfect. And I know they're not perfect, but like I feel like YouTube is the only platform that allows you to do it. Even if my edits are terrible, even if my, you know, camera quality is not like 401k, you know, it's not 4K. Oh my god, I need to look that up. But anyways, I feel like YouTube is the space where you can be like who you want to be, and like believe it or not, like it takes time, but like hopefully people will find you there. And there are so many resources out there. There's so many people who are trying to help you out, and I just feel like comfortable in that zone, and I don't really get nervous in front of the camera. And so like I'm blabbing right now. And so my current job, by the way, is a blogger who is newly coming out in YouTube. So that is all my 14 questions. My 15th question for myself is, what do you see as the future for your YouTube channel? Well, my YouTube and my blog, I think I started off with a passion for fashion. So cliche, but it rhymes. But in any ways, like I started to like all this industry and clothing and the expression and the creative side of things when I was a little girl, and I grew up like literally reading like magazines, print, and I really got into the creative side of fashion. And also reading magazines helped me a lot to understand how the business works. And so I always dreamt of even becoming a fashion designer and eventually a fashion model, and both of those never actually worked out in my life, but I ended up doing other things in fashion. And so I think coming to this point in my life is also a part of that journey. And I really want, throughout all of this blogging, all of this YouTube channel, like content creation, eventually I also want to create my own brand. That is the future that I really want to set out for myself. And I'm doing like a little bit of collection here and there, my inspirational mood board, some pieces that I think is really unique and I want to recreate. I want to sort of reinterpret it and like make it as my own branding. That is what I'm trying to do in my everyday life, while I'm communicating and getting through these contents to you guys. And so watch me out. I think that it is our own job as content creators to find our own way of making this a profession where you actually have income and you strive business out of it. It is not those, you know, cheap ideas on trying to hard sell some products off of these platforms, but I think rather it's anyone's like responsibility to be a bit more business savvy and find a way that like fulfills your own dream, but at the same time it's something shareable with everybody. And I truly believe that, like, having grown up in fashion like industry, and also having been in the Society of Korea, like Korea is also a very like thriving fashion industry country. And so I have all those resources behind me. I'm just getting myself down to it to study the industry, to get the sourcing done, get everything sort of, you know, all nailed down to what I want to do it and how I want to do it. And so wait for it. That's the future that I see. That's a long answer for number 15. And that's it. So thank you so much for watching this video, guys. It means very much to me. It means so much to me, and I really hope that it still means something to you guys too, and I will see you guys in other videos. So thank you so much, and hope you guys have a great weekend. Bye.